Since the release of Season 6, I've had time to sit and think about each of the episodes, and I can confidently say this was a good season of Black Mirror. Does it rival older seasons such as 2 and 3? Maybe, maybe not, but it is for sure a step up from Season 5. Black Mirror is and has been one of my favorite shows in recent times, so after the lackluster Season 5, I was excited to see what Season 6 had to offer. 5 episodes, all leaning more and more away from technology and veering more towards people and quote-unquote magic. I'll explain that more later. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Maisie Day. This episode, I feel, was the least Black Mirror-ish. You follow Beau, who works for the paparazzi, and is trying to get the quote money shot of this actor named Maisie Day. Maisie Day has been off set for weeks after a hit and run. The general public doesn't know that though. So the twist of the episode is that she didn't actually hit a person, but a wolf. Specifically a werewolf, I'm assuming. It's never really stated, but I say werewolf because Maisie Day herself at night turns into a werewolf. Wow, that was surprising I guess, but does it feel like Black Mirror at all? No, it doesn't. I don't know what it reminds me of. Don't get me wrong, you can tell it was written by Charlie Brooker, but that doesn't mean that it feels like Black Mirror. It's too supernatural and it feels like magic. Nothing here is grounded in reality, which, at least I thought, is the main appeal of Black Mirror. Another thing that bugs me is how nothing really happens until these last, 10 minutes. It all builds up to be something super crazy, and then I guess you can say it is, but it just didn't feel satisfying. I know this is just a ranking of this season, but overall this episode might be last. Just plain and simple not very good, 3 out of 10. Demon 79. I like this one. A large step up from Maisie Day. Although still supernatural and quote-unquote magical you could say, I don't see it that way. I think the entire episode is from the main character's point of view, which even before the supernatural entity is here, we see she has visions of terrible things. So, once she finds the relic, her brain creates this fantasy of demons, and the world ending if she doesn't do X, Y, and Z. This episode feels like a deep dive into mental health, with our main character suffering from many things, but mainly schizophrenia. So you might say, what about the ending? The world does go into war, proving her right. Well, not exactly. We could just still be seeing from her point of view. She's the only one who sees the demon, she's the only one who knows any of this, and she's able to just walk away from the flames without being hurt. But, either way, whether true or not, this episode shares the common problem with this season of not being very Black Mirror-ish. Whatever way you look at it, it doesn't deal with any possible futuristic thing. It deals with either the supernatural or someone literally just going insane. That's not to say the episode is bad, it just still doesn't feel like Black Mirror. 7 out of 10. Loch Henry. These last 3 episodes have been competing for number 1, but in third I have to go with Loch Henry. The idea is great, I think the twist works very well and that everything comes together nicely. Now, I feel like a broken record, but my main problem with this episode is one I've had with every other episode, the lack of feeling like Black Mirror. This one especially feels like I'm watching, albeit a very good crime drama. I think the characters are all very well written and that the dialogue flows very well, and it's also kind of funny sometimes, and terribly dark at times, as most Black Mirror episodes are. This one, unlike the last 2, is grounded in reality. This could really happen, something the other episodes were missing. Overall, though this episode is another step up, this episode and after is when I feel like the season really shines. 8 out of 10. Joan is awful. Now this is classic Black Mirror. Almost no complaints. They use futuristic but technically possible technology to create a crazy idea and a twist that works amazingly, at least in my opinion. There are a few downsides to this episode, like this person said on my Joan is awful video. They didn't really explain the quantum computer, calling it quote basically magic. They also said that the twist, although cool, they saw it coming. I didn't personally. It totally caught me off guard. I guess that I was so on board with the story that I didn't even think about it. Overall though, this concept is so interesting, and I think that they portrayed it very well. Obviously there are things they could improve on, such as overall plot points, that this isn't how terms of service work, but if you can get past this, or maybe Streamberry paid the government to not care, it works. 8.5 out of 10. Beyond the Sea. This episode blew me away. Everything in it was perfection. The acting was on another level, the story felt like something straight out of Black Mirror, which was a problem this season, so yes, this is a plus. And whatever you thought was gonna happen, even down to the last 5 minutes, you're still surprised and just left to sit there and think about what just happened. I mean, like, what the fuck? This entire episode builds up making you think, is he gonna pretend to be him? Is he gonna leave him be and just finish the painting? Or is he gonna kill them? The foreshadowing was there too, when he hit the sun, but how are we supposed to know that? And at first, I think his intentions were good. I don't know. Honestly, this episode still has me speechless. Similar to Shut Up and Dance or White Bear, at the end of it there's nothing more to say. You just have to sit with what you watched. I think what makes this episode so impactful though is that they still have to stay in space together for years if they want to make it home. It's a terrible thought, just as Black Mirror should be. Overall, this season of Black Mirror, like I said before, is a large step up from Season 5, and I think it might beat out Season 4 for me. I don't know yet, I would have to think about it more though. Okay, well, let me know what you think. Agree? Disagree? Who knows?